everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Deanna Jump, and I have taught kindergarten and first grade for over 20 years. I blog at Mrs. Jump's Class Blog, which you can find at deannajump.com. And I'm also the co-founder of Get Your Teach On, which is a conference for educators for grades K through 8. And we do have a conference coming up this summer, so we would love to see you there. I'm going to be reading today a story that's one of my favorite stories. So I hope I have some friends in maybe kindergarten, first or second grade that are joining me on this live so that you can participate with me in this story. So let me pull it up here real quick so that you can see the pictures more than you see me. So today we're going to be reading a story called The Easter Bunny's Assistant, and it's written and illustrated by Jan Thomas. If you've not ever read any books by Jan Thomas, she has a whole collection of books that are just super fun books. So you'll want to check her out if you have never read her books before. All right, so before we get started, let's talk about assistant. Some of you may not know what an assistant is. So an assistant is a person who helps someone else do something. So if you've ever helped your brother or sister clean their room, you are being their assistant and helping them. If you've ever helped your mom bake a cake, you are being her assistant and helping her. So we're going to read The Easter Bunny's Assistant. But before we do that, let me set you up for what your job is going to be for this story. So your job is to be listening as I read you this story, and you're going to be listening for some important parts in the story so that you can retell the story whenever I'm finished and include the important parts. So let me get my little glove over here. This is my storytelling glove. Can you see it? And I also put the little picture icons on the screen for you so that you could see it a little more clearly. So when we retell stories, we want to make sure that we include the important parts of the story. And I'm sure that your teachers have already taught you these important parts of the story. So let me just review them for you, okay? So the first thing you're going to be listening for is the title of the story, which is just the name of the book that we're reading, right? Then you're going to be listening for the characters. And the characters are the people or animals in the story. Next, when you retell, you want to include the setting. And the setting is where or when the story takes place. And then the problem. What problem did the character face in the story? What happened in the story that caused a bit of a problem for this character? And then the last thing you want to include is how did the characters solve the problem? What was the solution? So when you retell the story, you're going to include all 5 of those parts in your story retelling. Okay? All right, so let's get started with our story. All right, like I said, it's The Easter Bunny's Assistant by Jan Thomas. Hello, I am the Easter Bunny, and this is my assistant, Skunk. Today, we will show you how to make beautiful Easter eggs. Step 1, hard-boil the eggs. I'm so excited. Skunk, what is that smell? Oh, sorry. It happens when I get excited. Please try to control yourself. Step 2, make dye for the eggs. Oh, look at the beautiful color. It's so exciting. Skunk! Sorry. Step 3, decorate the eggs with crayons. Oh, I love decorating eggs. It's so pleasant and exciting. Step 4, remove Skunk from room. Push if necessary. Hey! Step dye the eggs. Now you have beautiful Easter eggs. Should I let him help me hide the eggs? You sure? Can you predict here? What do you think the Easter Bunny is going to do? Do you think he's going to let him back in and let Skunk continue to be his assistant? What do you think's going to happen? Let's find out. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at Easter Bunny. So let's think about this. So we said that readers can retell stories and include the important parts. So let's talk about this together, right? So what was the title of the story? Yes, The Easter Bunny's Assistant. Who were the characters in the story? Easter Bunny and Skunk. What was the setting? Where did the story take place? Yes, it was daytime, and it was probably in Easter Bunny's house or maybe in his shop where he makes the Easter eggs, right? What was the problem in the story? What problem did the Easter Bunny face? Oh my goodness, you guys are such awesome thinkers. Yes, Skunk wanted to be his assistant, but he kept getting so excited that he was stinking up the place. Oh my goodness. So how did Easter Bunny solve that problem in the end? Let's go back and look. How did he solve the problem? He put a clip over his nose so that he wouldn't smell that stinky smell anymore. Yeah, so that's how he solved the problem. So when you retell this story, you're going to use all 5 of these parts. And your job is, when we finish here, your job is to tell at least 2 people in your family about the story that we read to you today and use all of these important parts. So let me share with you one thing that I'm going to give you today. I'm going to give you lots of stuff. So your mom or dad or whoever's with you can download this for you and print it out. So here's one of the things I'm going to give you. This says The Easter Bunny's Assistant. So I've already written the title for you so that you don't have to do that. And it says readers can think about the parts of a story and tell about it. And I gave you the little picture icons to help you know what goes in each part. So you can draw or write about the characters, the setting, the problem, and solution. So you're going to create the story map, and then you're going to use that to use storytelling language and retell the story to how many people? At least 2 people. Yes. So I'm also giving you a lot of other things. Let me hide this real quick. Let me share with you some of the other things that I'm going to give you. I'm also going to give you the materials, the patterns, so that you can make Skunk from our story, right? He is one of the main characters in our story. So you can make Skunk. Then I'm also, remember whenever I asked you to predict if you thought that the Easter Bunny was going to let Skunk back in and let him be his assistant? So I also have papers for you where if you wanted to draw and write about what your prediction was, you can do that as well, right? Then, this one's one of my favorite things. I'm giving you some Easter eggs because in the story, they teach you how to dye the eggs. Now, they're doing real eggs. I'm just giving you some paper eggs that you can decorate. I used chalk on mine because I just thought it looked so pretty and so much more like dye. But I'm giving you like 5 different patterns for Easter eggs. Now, the reason I'm giving you these is because we're not supposed to get out of our houses right now, right? Other than we can walk around our neighborhood as long as we're only with our family, but we can't really go anywhere right now. So it makes it a little bit hard to think of things to do. So in my daughter's neighborhood, they've been putting teddy bears in windows. And then they switched it to hearts in windows. And now, since Easter's coming up, they have Easter eggs in all their windows. So you can walk through their neighborhood and see how many Easter eggs you can find. So I've given you some Easter egg hunt by just going on a walk and keeping that social distance. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me today. And I plan to come back on Wednesday with another story and even more activities for you. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Make sure you're spending time with your family and make sure that you're reading each and every day. Bye.